Hello everyone, this is chapter 1, class 9th, physical science, matter around us. So, let's start. What do you mean by matter? Anything in this world that occupies space and has mass is considered as matter. Anything which occupies what? Space and has mass is considered as matter. States of matter. What are the states of matter? In how many forms we can say distinguish matter? In 3 forms. Those are solid, liquid and gases. How one can say that the properties are changed of solid, liquids and gases? How properties changes? By seeing what? So these are the activities by which we can say that the properties are changed by changes the states of solid, liquid and gases. What are solids? In solids, all the particles are compactly arranged, all the solid substances. In those substances, all the particles are compactly arranged. Whereas in liquids, we have interspaces between particles. And whereas in gases, we have more interspaces between particles. So this is the first activity. Identify the shape and volume of the liquid. How we can see? We can just see in this diagram. Okay, how it is changing. See, in when you are reading this lesson, just draw these boxes so that you can easily tell how the states of the what changes and what remains fixed. You can easily make out by seeing these 3 boxes. This is a solid, liquid and gases. See, solid always holds a particular shape and has fixed volume. It neither changes its volume nor the shape. It is fixed in both and occupies the same volume. Whereas in when it comes to liquid, it changes with the change in the shape of the container. Whether now here it is a square box or a rectangular box, say cylindrical, say square or a round or oval, anything. Whatever container we are taking and we are just putting the liquid in it, it occupies that shape only. So it is not fixed in its shape, but it is fixed in volume. Say this is a 1 liter. It remains 1 liter in all the containers, but shape changes. But 1 liter of it doesn't change, so it remains fixed in its volume. But whereas gases both changes, it neither has a fixed shape and nor a volume. So both the changes with the change in the container or a thing which we have kept the gas in it, whether we keep in a larger container or a small or a medium size, it occupies whole space. So by this we can say that gases have neither a fixed shape nor a fixed volume. Let's start. See here, they have used different types of containers by taking a fixed volume of water. Their liquid is taking the shape of the container, so it is not fixed in its shape. Here it is the same thing. Now let's see about gas. Gas has neither a fixed volume nor a fixed shape, so it changes with the change in the container. By this, how we this is another how we can compress the, we are saying whether we take a large container or a small container, it occupies the whole space of the container. How we can say that? See here, they have used a syringe here. They will just you just pull the suck the piston and you will just fill the air. Then put your finger on the nozzle and press it. Now press the syringe upwards. You move it. Then what you will see? You will see the hardness in your finger. So by this we can say that yes, it occupies when this area is from here to here in this length. It was there. It occupies the whole space. But when we are pushing this piston towards upwards, it the whole air is occupied in this area also. So it is gas is highly compressible. By this experiment we can say that gas is highly compressible. Next activity is what is diffusion. Diffusion is the observing the diffusion of gases. How we can see the diffusion in gases? First of all, what is diffusion? Diffusion is the movement of the particles from one place to the other is known as diffusion. So now we have to see the diffusion of gases. How the particles moves from one place to another. If you just light a scent stick, how in a few moments or in a few minutes we can feel the smell all over the room. So by what process, what is the process going on? That is diffusion. The scent smell is or the perfume or a spray, whatever we are have to see whether the gases are in gases diffusion is taking place or not. We can use a perfume, deodorant or any scent stick, so that when we light a scent stick and if we just spray a perfume bottle or a deodorant, we can smell all over the room the smell of it. So what process has taken place? The particles present in the stick scent or a perfume or a deodorant, it spreads all over the room with the air present in the room. So that's why we feel the smell of the scented stick. Now diffusion over in gases. Now let's see in liquids. What we will do? We take a beaker with water and you just drop by drop you just pour a small amount of potassium permanganate into it. What it will do? Only few drops of from the sides you just pour. It will occupy the whole whole water. How much water we have taken, it will color the whole water. How it will? Only few drops we are dropping into the beaker, but the color of the whole water has been changed. Why it has been changed? Because the particles are so small, so tiny, that has colored all the water by occupying the interspaces between which are present in the liquid or in the water. It occupies all over the occupies all and it spreads itself into a uniform way all over the water in a uniform way. So same amount of particles are present in each interspaces molecule, and so that we won't find any differences. We can't see here like a certain amount of water in a dark color or certain amount of water are in a light color. We can see a whole water in a same color. By observing the color we can say that. Okay, now liquid to liquid over diffusion. Now let's see the whether solid, when we drop certain crystals or like you say sugar or salt, when we dissolve in a liquid, whether it will take diffusion or not. Here they have used a potassium manganate, crystals of potassium manganate and or crystals of copper sulfate. So these are solids. Crystal means they are in a solid form, and they have just put those solid crystals into the liquid or a water. So what happens? It dissolved in it. So with that we can say yes, solid particles also dissolves in liquid and occupies the space present between the particles of the liquids. Now with here you can also take a sugar or a salt example, and here it is a diffusion of gases. How the if we use two types of liquids, say which releases gases, say liquid ammonia and hydrochloric acid, those are liquid. When you just with the help of a tongs, if you dip the one cotton ball into ammonia and one cotton ball into a hydrochloric acid, take a cylindrical tube of 1 meter or whatever available with you in your laboratory, then use that and put those cotton balls at each end and then tie it with a cork, so that the air should not come out of the this tube and or from the cotton, and just leave it for a few minutes or a few half an hour say. Then what happens, we can see a fume, a white fume inside the tube, which indicates that the gases are released from these cottons. From hydrochloric acid gas has been released, from ammonia also ammonia gas has been released. And they have a reaction in between them, and thus we can see a line, we can see a ring like thing of a white colored ring we can see. And with this we can say that the reaction has been taken place between the gases of hydrochloric acid and an ammonia, and thus the ammonium chloride has been formed. And we can, by seeing the distance between the ring from here to here and here to here, so which distance is more? Here from ammonia we can see the distance is more, and from here the distance is less. So with this we can say that yes, ammonia gas has been moved faster than the hydrochloric acid gas. Okay. Can matter changes its states? Yes, it can change. Matter can change its states. How? From solid to liquid, liquid to gas. See, ice to liquid, water to gas, like that. The change in its state. And from solid to directly gas. Why we are, for that what we are taking an example, camphor is a solid. But if we leave in the open air for some time, it directly changes to gas. You may have seen moth on the naphthalene balls, which we keep in clothes. The smell remains for some time, even when the balls disappear. This is because of the naphthalene balls have changed from solid state to gaseous state. But there are some substances that change directly from solid state to gaseous state, and vice versa, without passing through the liquid state. We have read about sublimation, which is one such change. So one more state we have to see, sublimation. I will tell you in question and answer this one. From solid to directly gases, they are not going under the liquid condition, with the but we have seen the examples of ice to water, water to gas. But here it won't take the liquid formation from the solid to directly into the gases. So the reaction which takes place between these two is the sublimation. Okay, we call it as sublimation, not the liquid state. What is matter made up of? Matter is made up of made up of particles. Okay, very tiny particles. Simple, it is they are beyond our imagination. They are of that small, and they will arrange inside various forms. In liquid they arrange themselves in various form. In gases they are of various form. In solids also they are of various forms. When their arrangement is of various form. How small are the particles of matter? They are very, very, very small. Okay. See, only 2 crystals of potassium permanganate change the whole water color. And if we take 10 ml from this, and then again we will pour into the 90 ml of water, it will give actually this color should be changed. Here it should be a dark, then some lighter, then lighter, then lighter, then colorless, like this. Here you can't see able to distinguish the changes in the color. We will see in the question answers. Here they have used a salt and a water. It will dissolve the, so how you just take a 1 liter of water, or say 500 ml of water, and add some sugar or salt into it. You keep on dissolving it. It will dissolve until and unless all the spaces occupied by the salt or a sugar. And then again how much you will just take salt or sugar, you will try to dissolve in it, it won't dissolve, and but the volume increases. So there is a limit also for solid that they have to occupy the intercellular spaces present between the liquid particles. So with this exercise we can also understand that there is a limit. Particles of matter attracts each other. Yes, in solids we have a higher attraction between particles, that's why they are so hard and compactly arranged. In liquid, lesser attraction or intermediate attraction, that's why they are in liquid form. And gaseous, they are a less or a least attraction, that's why they are of in gas form, and they are far off places. And the particles, how the diffusion takes place, and diffusion should be whereas when we talk about the diffusion is more in gases than in less in liquid and more less in solids. Okay, like that. Let's see the key. Matter is made up of particles. The particles of matter are very small. They are small beyond our imagination. Particles of matter have space between them. Particles of matter move continuously in liquids and gases. See, particles move continuously. So, continuous movement of particles is necessary for the process of diffusion to take place. Matter exists in three states, that is solid, liquid and gases. The force of attraction between the particles are maximum in solids, intermediate in liquids and minimum in gases. The particles are arranged orderly in case of solid, while particles move randomly in gases. Diffusion is possible only when particles of matter move continuously. Rate of diffusion of gases is higher than that of liquids or solids. So some of the answers are here itself. You can just read these questions and write down your answers from these key points. Remaining I will tell you in the next video. Okay. Thank you.